Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be talking all about crystals, how we can use them, how to cleanse them, charge them, and how to bring them into our spiritual practice. So first, let's start out by talking about what are crystals. So what makes crystals work is their organized structure. Every crystal has an organized molecular structure within the stone that holds this high vibrational frequency. And in science, we call this the crystal lattice. They come from the earth, created under pressure over time with our natural elements. And anything that comes from the earth inherently has this intelligence, this high vibration that we are able to work with. Now, how are we able to work with crystals? Okay, so our bodies are made up of over 70% of water, and we know that water conducts energy. And when we understand that crystals have a certain or hold a certain frequency, have a certain vibration, and when we are working with them or putting them in our space, we automatically align to that energy. Sometimes those shifts can be sudden, sometimes we could even feel those shifts, or sometimes those shifts can be a lot more subtle, but they are still working with us. They're still working with our energy. I think that there is a common misconception sometimes with people that don't really understand crystals or use them, that people that do work with them worship them or expect miracles to come from working with crystals. And that's not really the case. It's really about being able to utilize the energy that they inherently give off by working with them and putting them in our auric or energetic field. The way that I see it is that they are tools for deeper transformation. And when we use them alongside with philosophies or self-concept work, shadow work, somatic work to regulate our nervous system, it helps us align deeper to connecting with who we truly are and where we are wanting to go. Now let's talk about how we know if a crystal is right for us. So I always recommend, if you are new to collecting stones, to just go into a store and really be able to see what gravitates to you. Pay attention to the colors, pay attention to how you feel when you're holding it. I always also recommend that if you are holding it, you're holding it in your left palm, because this is where we receive energy. This is our receptive side. And to really just see how you feel. Do you feel energized? Do you feel like it almost is draining you? Even if you don't feel anything, I personally feel like choosing a stone based off of just the way that it looks, you would be surprised how aligned that stone could be working for you. I have been collecting stones since I was a child, and I remember when I found my whole collection as a kid, it was just so funny because it's also the same stones that I resonate with now as an adult. So you would be surprised, your intuition knows what's best. Just trust yourself in the process. All right, so 5 ways to cleanse your stone. So once you've brought a stone back from wherever you've purchased it from, you don't always have to cleanse it. I know that a lot of times people do push cleansing it immediately, but if the stone feels really good for you and you feel, or good to you, and you feel like it has good energy, it's not necessary for you to cleanse it immediately. I do recommend that though for certain stones, specifically moldavite. If you were to get a moldavite from a store, always cleanse that, because you want to be able to set that intention, because that is a very transformative stone. And a lot of times, I'm sure you've seen the moldavite stories. There's so many experiences with moldavite because of how transformative that energy is. So when you want to cleanse it though, when you're ready to cleanse it, you can use a bunch of things. So the first would be to smoke cleanse. You can use cedar, you could use rosemary. I love to use rosemary. You can burn juniper. There's so many different herbs, or even lavender. There's so many different herbs that you can use to cleanse the crystal. Second would be sound cleansing. So you can also quite literally speak into your stone and say that you want to you set the intention to clear the stone, or you could use, let's see if I have it here, a tuning fork, you know, a simple tuning fork that you can cleanse the stone. Or I have this as well that I use for my Reiki sessions. This is just like a chime. You can use one of these as well. Not that specific one, but just any wind chime, any type of sound. And also, I mean, if you have a singing bowl, you can use that as well. Whatever it is to just cleanse the energy of your stone. It's really about intention. You can speak good things into your stone too, and that also ties into that's kind of blending in with like setting your intention with the stone. Another thing that you could use is utilizing selenite. So this is my selenite wand. Selenite is a self-cleansing crystal. If you want to cleanse your stone, you could place it on top of your selenite. You can even like clear yourself with selenite. That's why I have this like big wand, because I do like to use this in between sessions. It's amazing. This is one of my favorite stones, and I feel like it's incredible to work with. Also, one of the ways that you can cleanse your stones is by putting them in the moonlight or even the sunlight, of course, depending on the properties of the stone. So an example of a type of stone that I would put in the sunlight is something like Libyan desert glass. Something I wouldn't put in the sunlight would probably be something like amethyst, because I wouldn't want to dull its beautiful, vibrant purple color. One of the last ways to clear or cleanse your stone is by utilizing oils, essential oils. So I don't recommend this for all crystals, but that will be like a completely separate video, because there's certain crystals that I don't recommend actually like getting into water or allowing it to get wet or into the sunlight. I also do have like a crystal guide for that. I'll list it in the description, and that will be that'll have a little bit more information in regards to that. But another way that I like to cleanse and clear my crystals, of course, like I said, not all of them, is by doing like a frankincense bath. I work with oils and herbs a lot, and that is one of the ways that I love to cleanse my stones. So now let's get into how we can charge or set our intention for the stone that we are working with. There's many different ways to do this, but one of my favorite ways is through visualization. I kind of have like a whole process whenever I work with a new stone. I often like to pull cards, divine on it, connect with the energy in meditation, and I also have a journal practice as well to kind of just like tap into the energy that I'm feeling. And so through my visualization work, I like to see how I want to utilize this energy in my life. What is it? How do I expect to feel? And really visualize that picture in my mind's eye. I feel like that is probably like one of the strongest ways that you can really charge the intention of what you want from the stone, how you want to feel, right? Because it's all about blending energies. How will this stone affect my energy overall? If visualization isn't your thing, or if you're also a beginner when it comes to meditation, you can honestly, as I mentioned previously, speak into your stone. Write down what your intention is. Speak into your stone, have a prayer, you know, holding your stone, and just really, you know, concentrate that energy with what you want. So yeah, I hope this video has been helpful. If you want a little bit more in depth, especially when we're talking a little bit about like the properties of each stone and what you can't put in water and the ones that you shouldn't put in like the sunlight, I have a free guide that you are more than welcome to download, and there's a lot more information in there. I also share a personal experience, and I have some advanced techniques in that guide as well. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next video.